Hair and makeup. How's it going, Mr. Harrison? We have a series of flute noises. Flutes and fart noises. As I promised, I'm here again at 4:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's probably a lot later in Australia. Flute tradition. I brought my flute and my harmonica today, so I am heavily armed. I'm getting in my flute practice so I can charm, so I can calm the savage beast. So I can free the city of rats. So I can charm a snake. That's all right. Thank you for the like. I am happy to see that you have joined. So if it's busy, hopefully it will calm down. Today is Wednesday, so we got 2 more days left of the work week. Hopefully I'm not scaring any cats. So I guess you'll be staying a short while today. A short while. A brief moment. A moment frozen in time. We'll see how many people come on today. As promised, flutes and fart noises. The bog of eternal stench. Almost sounds like cartoon farts. So we can wait, we can watch, we can see what happens. Leave your likes and subscriptions. There, that's a little better. It's all about the positioning. I think the most I've had is about 4 people. I'm getting quite a library of Let's Be Friends, and few people are watching them. I hope to get it more interesting. I want to get so interesting that people look forward to watching. I will continue to reach out. I will continue to reach out to your country, your uh, your area of dwelling, your area, the area you live in, your coordinates. I want to beam into your coordinates so you can climb aboard the spaceship, the SS Ed. Climb aboard the SS Ed and fly into space and time and enjoy your time away from reality as you know it. So here we are. We're sitting in a wooded area, next to a wooded area. Hopefully, I'll get a lot of people talking about. I'll have to figure out like what time, because 5 o'clock is when everyone's coming home. Everyone will be home around 6, but then it'll be dark outside around 6 o'clock. People are busy on the weekends also. I wonder how people find time to do anything nowadays, except for the rat race. Does anyone ever win the rat race? Even rats don't get into races that often, unless there's a piece of bread involved, or unless there's a chunk of cheese that motivates the rats. We got our grocery shopping done, so now we are at home. Tomorrow we have one doctor's appointment, and then it's off to our picnic. We're going to have a picnic. Maybe what I'll do is charge up the phone and I can do some video of the park we go to for the picnics. Picnic at the park. See how much wildlife there is. This time of the year, not a lot of wildlife. There are some squirrels. There are some ducks. All the geese are probably gone today, or now that they've all flown. I wonder if Canadians call them American geese. Canadians probably call them American geese when they see them, because they come from here to go to there, and then they fly south for the winter. Seems like the springtime is when I see a lot of Canadian geese. In the spring, in the winter, I don't see as many. I don't see any. They do fly in flocks, though. I have seen lots of geese, Canadian geese. So let me know in the comments. Do Canadians call them American geese because they come from here to go there, and then they come back to here? You've crossed over. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. It's hard to keep a show exciting, I guess. Got to keep it exciting. What can we do for excitement? I guess I can show my Kershaw. I've had this knife for many years. The Kershaw assisted opening, and it clicks open like a flick knife. I think they call them flick knives in the UK. We call them switchblades. We call them switchblades. They call them flick knives. And it, I notice it's a delay. Watch that. It's a delay. You hear the sound and then you see the blade come out. It has a serrated edge for cutting rope, I guess. And it has a cool brand name, Kershaw. Kershaw. It's good for outdoor survival, utility. I need to sharpen it again. My utility. It has a handy dandy pocket clip. I like the idea of the pocket clip. Instead of having that case that goes on your belt, it doesn't. It's not a flick knife, but it opens like a flick knife, like a switchblade. That's my show and tell. That's what I do to keep things interesting. Sitting out here in the woods, in the woods of Georgia. There is a Georgia in Russia also. There is I think that's why they call Georgia, Georgia, because it was a Russian settlement. But then during the Revolutionary War, King George of England was king during the Revolutionary War. Georgia, George is more. Georgia is that place in Russia. I'm smelling marijuana all of a sudden. Somebody must be lighting up. Somebody must be ablazing. I smell that contact marijuana. I think marijuana is legal. It's still a federal offense, but some states are allowing the marijuana to be smoked. It's kind of like I don't smoke it myself, but I smell it from time to time. I went to the office yesterday, our food stamp office, and there was a guy in line ahead of me, and he reeked of the pakalolo, of the marijuana, and I notice that every once in a while. People have this pungent odor of the Maui Wowie, the Acapulco. No, they call it Maui Wowie. They call it pakalolo. They call it marijuana. But yes, I smell it from time to time. It gets in their clothes. It gets on their hair, and you just catch a whiff. And it cures your headache. It clears your glaucoma. Also, Parkinson's. This guy had Parkinson's, and he had a THC oil. They gave him THC oil, and it reduced the tremors of Parkinson's. So, I'm pretty sure the THC oil is allowed. So they administer the THC oil, and it stops the tremors of Parkinson's. Because the guy was really having a tough time, and when he was given the THC oil, it helped him quite a bit. I wonder if it works for Tourette's. Tourette's, they do some fine tuning to the brain. They do some kind of I've watched that happen. Tourette's seems to get worse when a person is made nervous when they're in a room full of a lot of people. So I guess the more calm they are, the less the tics happen. I kind of noticed that when people are really uptight, nervous, or when they're really nervous and have anxiety about where they are or what they're going through, I guess the tics happen more often, or they're more intense. That's at least that's what I've observed. I'm not an expert, but yeah, THC oil. I watched this video of a guy who was who had Parkinson's, and they administered the THC oil, and his tremors went away, or almost almost undetectable. So that's something to consider. Some benefits of marijuana, of the THC, something to look into. A lot of people are advocating marijuana, the use of marijuana, at least medicinal purposes. There's a lot of benefits I've heard. So anyway, and it's all because I smelt some marijuana. So we're back to fart noises. Fart noises and flutes. Flutes and fart noises. So we were 17 minutes. So I guess Wednesdays in the morning. Seems like, yeah, people are pretty busy. They don't have time to relax anymore. They can't get online and chat. But it is a lovely autumn day. One thing that's good about this is you can play it back. If you miss it, you can play it back. When you do have time, when you are just killing time, you can at least 1 hour's worth of the show. You can binge watch if you have time. Sometimes we do have time to binge watch. We do have time to play back a pre-recorded live stream. That's how what I do. I catch podcasts usually after it's been pre-recorded and put in the archives. I can go through the archives and watch pre-recorded shows. The sun is setting in the sky. Teletubbies say goodbye. Goodbye, Tinky Winky. Goodbye, Dipsy. Goodbye, Lala. Goodbye, Po. That's what happens when you smell marijuana. You start thinking about the Teletubbies. When you get a contact high, you start to think of the Teletubbies. Naughty Noo Noo. I think that was a British show. It was filmed in the UK. I remember watching episodes of the Teletubbies just for the hell of it. They were talking about how they talked about them a lot, the Teletubbies, back in 2001. I think it was 2001 when Teletubbies were on the telly. Teletubbies were on the telly. They had a television, and they had antennas on their head, shaped like IUDs. And then they had that baby that was in the sun, or the sun was a baby that was smiling, which was kind of like an LSD trip. Goodbye, Tinky Winky. Goodbye, Lala. Goodbye, Po. The sun is setting in the sky. Teletubbies say goodbye. That makes me laugh. You don't even need to be high to watch the Teletubbies. You don't need to be high to watch the Teletubbies. Noo was the vacuum cleaner. They lived in a spaceship, I guess. That's what I remember about the Tubbies. Teletubbies because the telly is on their tubby, and they have IUDs on their heads. Flutes and fart noises. That's how we keep entertained. That's how we keep the vibration high. This is a very high vibrating show. It's a show where people can watch, people can come back after the show has been pre-recorded, kind of like Happy Days. The show is pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. It's kind of like what's happening now. If I can quit the mosquitoes, stop the mosquitoes from biting my nose. I guess my nose is kind of, nope, not red yet. Let's go on a guided meditation. We're back on standard time. Here in the US we have daylight savings time, and then we have standard time. Standard time is in November. Right now it's almost 4:30. Hey, are you back? Oh, I remember you. Okay, you are Trigger. It looks like T. Harrison had gone. T. Harrison couldn't stick around, so we have now Trigger among us. He has graced us with his presence. Huzzah! Good morrow, as they say at the Renaissance Fair. Huzzah! Good morrow. Bonjour. Somebody said bonjour. I think that means good day. Or bonjour, no. Bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment allez-vous? We have flutes and fart music. Or, no, flute, music, and farts. I'm getting gradually better at playing flute. It's a recorder. Sorry, a recorder. It is type. I guess it's in the flute family. It's made out of a hard plastic or a plastic. It is a sectional, 3-sectional flute. You can take it apart, kind of like a saxophone. I guess a saxophone can be taken apart, and it can, so you can properly. It came with a cleaning rod. I don't know what happened to the cleaning rod. Flutes and fart noises. That's how we entertain ourselves on this show. Flutes and fart noises. I try to name the farts, like the oopsie, the silent but violent, the leaner, the one cheek sneak. You never want to have an oopsie, especially when you're at the grocery store. Today, the second time in a row, I was at the grocery store. I had to use the bathroom, and both stalls, at this grocery store, there are only 2 stalls, and both of them each had an occupant. And I go, God, what are the odds? The odds of having to use the bathroom. There are only 2 stalls, and both stalls have an occupant. All I saw was sneakers. I just saw sneakers, and I know it's probably an old guy that takes a long time to finish, to finish his business. And it's like, you guys are going to have to start charging you rent. Anyways, I wanted to cuss, but I didn't cuss. I went back out and did some more grocery shopping, and then went back in, and luckily one of the occupants had relinquished access to the stall. I think it's called relinquished. I didn't have to start an eviction process, so So I didn't have to evict the person had left on their own, which is great. It's great when you can actually go when you need to go. So we're 28 minutes in, and I still have battery power. I think I was at 98% battery power. So it'll let me know. Usually I can go a good hour, a good solid hour. So that's great. Yeah, that's great. Who remembers Office Space? I like Office Space. I think it was directed, written by Mike Judge. Mike Judge also did a movie called Extract. I have I have Extract and I have Office Space. I'm gonna have to play Office Space again. It has a lot of iconic movie. What is that? Movie quotes. Iconic movie quotes. The jump to conclusions, Matt. Or I don't think you have enough flair. You need more flair. Here's my flair. That was funny. Jennifer Aniston was in that movie. She played the woman that didn't have enough flair. Mike Judge, if you noticed, he always plays a character. He always plays one of the characters. Mike Judge played the boss that was getting onto her about her flair. And then in Extract, he played one of the employees, with a mustache. I noticed Mel Brooks also does that. Mel Brooks always does a cameo in his. He plays one of the characters in the movie that he's in, which is kind of cool. You see the actual the creator of the movie. Kevin, yes, he did. Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob. He was Silent Bob, and he was one of the characters in his movie. Yeah, they're both kind of independent. I think. I think Mike Judge is an independent filmmaker, just like Kevin Smith and Mel Brooks. I think he started out independent. Quentin Tarantino is also independent. I think he was. He did Reservoir Dogs. I think on his own budget or on his own money, or I think he had investors. Then he went out to make all those other movies, Kill Bill and the like. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was a pretty interesting movie. I think he worked on Planet Terror. He worked on Death Proof. The same guy who did Cabin Fever, he also did Planet Terror. He used I think it was his nieces. His nieces were in that movie. A lot of. That's all right. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for stopping by. And we'll probably do this again. I'm just trying to get the right time to do it. Find the right time. But again, I thank you for stopping by and listening to me talk about movies, letting other people tell jokes. So we'll see who else pops in. So far we had T. Harrison, X Trigger. We'll see if Arthur shows up. He might show up. Arthur, I think, is in the same time zone as I am. I think he's from Canada. North of Georgia, way north of Georgia. So I will keep this up for an hour. I think I'll make these an hour show for people who have nothing to do but sit and listen to a guy play flute music and fart noises and his harmonica. Play that harmonica. think that's Indiana Jones. Da 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 da. What I should do is sit next to a porta potty. That would be funny. Like, like a few feet away, a couple of yards away from a porta potty. That way, if I have to go, I could just say, "Hold on a moment. I'm going to step into the porta potty." A porta potty and then a barbecue grill. That's what I need. A porta potty to my left, a barbecue grill to the right, and like a little hibachi kind of barbecue grill. I could have chicken. Every once in a while I have to reach over and turn the chicken over, or the sausage, or the hamburger from Hamburg, Germany. A hamburger from Hamburg, Germany. And then I could have some schnitzel and sauerkraut. That's what we've had before. Mom and I love to eat the sauerkraut in the can. The canned sauerkraut. You don't even have to heat it up. It's pretty good, all just right out of the can. And the schnitzel, depending on who makes it. There's Italian sausage, German sausage. Russians also use sausage. I've noticed when they have, like at Christmas time, we went to a friend's house. He was Russian, and he had Sakadi, Sadis, Kushe Harasho. He would have all this, like, we call it finger food. It was just like sausage that's cooked and cut up, and they had like pomeni. Pomeni, I think is the name of it. Kind of looks like ravioli, and it had all kinds of like ham, sausage, cheese, and it's like that's the way they ate. They just had their table was covered with all these finger foods, and it was around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, and there was it was good food. You just get a plate and you just load it up with all these lovely, delicious crackers and uh, breads and all kinds of stuff. It was really delicious, making me hungry. So it's after snack time. I'm not hungry yet. So I guess we filled in 34 minutes. We had two people pop in. We had X Trigger. We had T Harrison, and both of them had to go. So they have earlier it was So we have the usual texters, not texters. They are chatters. Our usual chatters come in. So maybe we can get other people. I noticed I had a few more subscribers today, so maybe they will be sure to hit the bell. They say when you hit the bell, you get alerts. So when I make a video, you will be alerted, or when I upload a new short, you'll be alerted. And I think people, within a few minutes of me uploading a short, I get views. So that's always helpful. And if you'd like to play, what movie is this from? 7 months ago, I was looking through all of my shorts, and 7 months ago is when I first started What Movie Is This From? And so I've got a lot of movie quotes. So if you really want to play What Movie Is This From? You can go back as far as 7 months ago. 7 months ago is when I started the movie. The What Movie Is This From? It's all movie quotes. Some people get them, they get them right away. Sometimes they ask a couple of questions. and then they get the name of the movie, what movie it's actually from. And then I like to put in jokes and some of those I've scripted myself, like the Jeffrey ones, the stories about Jeffrey. Sometimes I just get up in the morning, early in the morning, and I just think of a scene, some dialogue between Jeffrey and his dad. So I'll have to see who can help me with the female parts. If I have female roles, I can get some people to play the female roles. So that'd be kind of fun, because you can do it. You can do clips, like go over to one character, let them say their line, and then you can go to your character and you say your line, and then put it together like movie. Like how you splice together all of the movie clips so you get the actual finished product. That'd be kind of fun to work with somebody. Have like 4 or 5 people even. Like Jay and Silent Bob and who else? Matt and Trey. Matt and Trey have made quite a few movies. They made Orgasmo. They made Cannibal the Musical. They made Team America World Police. So they've got some movies under their belt. They also did that Broadway show. I think it's still playing. The Mormons. I always like keeping track of progress. The evolution of people who get creative and come up with movie ideas. I like to make a movie with different characters, and do play a character in the movie that I'm in. Write for each character. Maybe that's what I should do is audition. What's it gonna hurt? Auditions are usually free. No interruptions. We have no interruptions. This is all live with no interruptions. Unless, of course, the commercials. Because I guess if I get my first 1,000 viewers, I mean, first 1,000 subscribers, I guess they start paying you after your first 1,000. Then I can make movies just for YouTube. I can make 2-hour movies, yeah, or just 1-hour movies. Make 1-hour movies for you, just for YouTube, so people could just click on. That way, I'll get my views, and I'll get my watch hours, or whatever they call that, views and watch time, and yeah, make them. Oh, a leaf, a leaf just fell on me. So that's my vision, kind of. I like to do that. Do auditions, and that way people can get free training on how to make a movie. You know, say, hey, we're going to do this until we start making money, and then this do like non-paying gigs. So that kind of like interns do, like make them like an internship, because I'll be able to get money later on. Once I make a few movies, I'll be able to. People might invest in making other movies. That way, I can pay my actors and actresses, or actors. They're called actors because they don't acknowledge gender anymore. You can't say actor or actress. You can say actor. So those who act, get some people who act together, and think of a storyline, you know, and then have each each actor act their part, and then come up with some really watchable footage, and then mostly comedy and suspense, or comedy and horror. You must make a friend of horror. Horror and moral terror. If they are not, then they are your enemies to be feared. So we can, I need to do that. I get some notepads, get some notepads, and start scripting, and then that way each person can read their lines, remember their lines, and say them. But I need to get a camera together. I'd like to get a good camera, a really good camera with really good sound, and then start, or work with somebody who's already, yeah, work with some people that I can get together, somebody with a laptop, somebody with a camera, some people who can remember lines, say their lines, maybe ad lib a little bit, and then make some movies just for YouTube subscribers. Subscribers and viewers could just go on and watch the movie. That way I'm getting my view time or watch time or whatever they call it. And I'm getting views. And then people can tell other people to come watch the show. They can watch it each on their own laptop. So they'll each be counted as a view. And these are some ideas that I'm hatching out. And we can always have movies about progress. Documentary. I think documentary would be easier to start out with. Just do about how many people collect guns and why they collect guns. Have people like, why do you collect so many guns? I've always wondered what it would be like to have my own land. Have land and then have a huge hillside where I can set up targets and invite people to come onto the property and have shooting competitions. Have part of the hillside would be for bows and arrows. Part of the hillside would be for crossbows. Another part of the hillside would be pistols. Another one would be rifles. Anything that shoots, we could have it all on this big dune, a big hillside or a cliff, a hillside or a cliff. So if you miss a target, the bullet will just disappear into the cliffside, and then pass out some ear muffs, whatever they're called, ear protection, eye protection. People can pay like $20. They can bring their rifle, and they can stand up like just a regular shooting range, and then see what blows up when you shoot it. Get some old gas cans, like for your barbecue grill, those gas grill, the propane tanks. Get some old propane tanks that are empty, shoot them with like AK-47 rounds, 7.62 by 39. That'd be cool. I can make like $20 a pop. Just get some land, open a shooting range, so people don't have to travel very far, just outside the city limits. Just have a couple of 4 acres of land, 4 to 6 acres of land, with a big old hillside. That'd be awesome fun. That'd be great fun. Just bring for target practice. I have a little shack. You come up to the shack and you pay. Oh, looks like one person. We got one person. While I'm sitting here BSing, we might. Looks like that one person hasn't disappeared yet. Like I say, don't be shy. Say hi. And if you get later in, like you did, somebody just popped out again. So this is what we do here on Let's Be Friends. We can hatch out ideas. We can tell jokes. We can come up with things to do that are fun. If you're in the Hiram, if you're in the Paulding County area, Georgia, maybe we can put together some kind of a get together. Maybe have a big barbecue. Everybody bring a grill. Everybody bring some hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages, pieces of chicken, turkey legs. That's what I remember at the fair. When I went to the fair, it was the California State Fair. They would have turkey legs, barbecuing, big old turkey legs. And you could buy them right off the grill. One turkey leg will fill you up. I noticed at Six Flags they did that too. The Six Flags in Vallejo, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. They had turkey legs. You could sit there and eat your turkey leg and your can of Coke. So we are 47 minutes into the show. I hope it's been interesting. Maybe a few more minutes. We'll see. So we had X Trigger, we had T Harrison, we had one guy pop in who didn't say hi or anything. So that will be a tradition. You must leave a like. You must leave at least one like. I think that's all you can do is leave one like. You can't like re-like. You can't re-like. Or maybe, I don't know. I've never tried that. I've never tried re-liking. Like if I really like a video or a short, you could like at least 5 times. So I guess we've talked a lot, or I've talked a lot. So you could listen to this, I guess, while you're gutting your fish or skinning your deer or gathering up your turnips, your asparagus, and your beets, your carrots. I think I said carrots already. Picking your grapes. There was a guy, or a family, I guess. It was at a park. There was a park, and then there was a chain link fence, and there were grapevines growing on that chain link fence. And this was, a park. It was kind of like an extension of a schoolyard. There was a schoolyard, and then there was a park, and along that park there were some separation fences. It was chain link, sometimes just board fences, and this guy had some grapevines growing up the side of his fence, and I would just go over there and pick the grapes off the grapevines. They were the green grapes. I would just go up there and snack on the grapes because they were on the other side of the fence. Oh wow, look at that! See the you can see the sunshine back here. The sun is shining onto the trees back there. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me talk about things. Even though we had very few chatters today, you can leave in the comments what you think of the show and some of the ideas, you know. Maybe I should start a documentary. I need to think of what the documentary would be about. How many people carry a weapon? How many carry a self-defense weapon? And if they don't, why not? Why do they not carry a self-defense weapon? Probably because they live in a better neighborhood. Probably because they don't think about being attacked. They don't think about being in danger. Some people do consider being in danger, so they have like a pepper spray on their keychain. They have brass knuckles in their pocket, or they have a little pocket knife. That's what I do. I like to carry my little pocket knife, my little knife that I keep in my pocket. Because a lot of times you have to cut things open. You know, you have to, you buy a set of screwdrivers, or you buy a pair of pliers, or you buy something that's in packaging. You have to cut out the hard plastic, the plastic packaging. So that's where these come in handy. But also, if somebody attacks you, if you're if you have to deal with multiple attackers, I think it helps to have a knife on your person. Multiple attackers, 3 or 4 attackers, 2 attackers. You know, have something you could use. You have all kinds of little self-defense weapons that can be at your disposal. Check your local laws to see what you can carry. Because I think in California you can only carry a 3-inch knife. You can't carry anything over 3 inches. They have an OTF, the out of the front knife, that has a 3-inch blade. That's pretty cool. It's almost like the size of a money clip, and you can carry it on your person. And even though it shoots out of the front, it's 3 inches long, so you don't have to worry about. Uh, it's kind of like skirts. It reminds me of skirts. You know, skirts had to be a certain length. If they were too short, you'd get sent home. So it's like if your blade is too long. For self-defense purposes, a 3-inch blade could actually, 3 to 4 inch blade could actually help you out. But the only thing that sucks is if they're a better knife fighter than you are, or if they're wearing a thick jacket. They can come at you with a thick jacket. You try to poke them with a knife, and it doesn't go through. That's why they have those trench knives. Trench knives have to be strong enough to poke through a trench coat. They have to be at least 7 inches long. So if you're a knife collector, move to Georgia, like I did. Move to Georgia, and you could be. The knife laws aren't as strict as California. It's a long way to travel, though, from coast to coast. California is on the east coast, and Georgia is on the southeast. No, did I say that right? The west coast. California is on the west coast. And to get really far from California, you can go to Georgia, which is on the southern eastern side of the Americas. So somebody's coming home on their motorcycle. That almost sounds like a Harley Davidson. That low rumble sound. Also referred to as hogs. Sounds like somebody might be riding their hog today. I have to have an outro every time I end a video. Because Slapped Ham, the guy Callan that does Slapped Ham, he always goes, poo, poo, at the end of each of his videos. When he finishes it up, he goes, poo. I was saying like, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, dos vidania. Maybe I'll say dos vidania. Maybe I'll say auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, 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 au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, dos vidania, and any other language I can think of. So we will, I guess we'll do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be song. That's what I should do for my outro. Sing the Little Orphan Annie song. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be song. When you're faced with a day that's gray and lonely, I'll just pick up my chin and grin and say, tomorrow, tomorrow, there's all I love you tomorrow. You're only a day away. There we go. That'll be my outro. The Little Orphan Annie song. That's how I'll end my show. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you tomorrow. You're only a day away. All right. That's it.